Hi, my name is Dr. Simon Moore. I'm from the review course in Family Medicine, Canada's only coast-to-coast CCFP exam course where we've prepared thousands of people for success on the CCFP exam. If you are writing the SAMPs, there are 5 things that you need to know about Prometric, the testing company that does the SAMPs for the CCFP. Let's start with 5 things to know about in-person SAMP exams. The SAMP exam is the short answer management problem exam. Usually there's about 40 questions with a varying number of stems and sub-questions, and they're going to ask you to list things like list 5 risk factors for heart failure from the case above. There will be blanks in which you can type your answers, you click submit, you can flag questions, you can highlight, you can move on to the next question, all within that software. So what are some things that we need to know if you're writing this exam at one of the testing sites? Number 1, you can bring water bottles and snacks to the testing site. Make sure that you are ready, that they're not going to be available with you in the testing site. There's going to be a cubby outside the room. You're allowed to ask for permission to get up and leave and go access these during the exam. You don't get any extra time for this. Now, if you've got a medical condition that needs accommodation, if you need to have the food at your exam testing site, make sure that you've got documentation of this, and you need to request it at the time you register for the exam. Don't just show up on exam day and expect that this accommodation will be made. Number 2, quick and easy. Earmuffs or earplugs have been provided at the SAMP testing sites at Prometric in the past. Number 3, be aware that Prometric sometimes will delay or cancel an exam with little notice. There are reports at our CCFP exam preparation Facebook group. Check the link below for the description. You can go to this Facebook group and see stories from other people who've written the exam. And they've told stories like, if you show up at the exam, sometimes there's a delay of a couple of hours, and sometimes they'll tell you with short notice that your exam is going to be happening at a different time, a different site, or on a different day. Number 4, why would you write the exam at your house if you can just go to a testing site and hopefully avoid some of the technical problems? Well, people have told us at our CCFP exam Facebook group that sometimes there are technical issues at the Prometric testing sites as well. So for example, the whole exam freezes is one story that we heard, and then you get logged out, you've got to restart the system, and when you log back in, hopefully, and in some cases, yes, the answers were all still there, but it is a stressful experience that you've got to wait for while they're rebooting the system. Number 5, if you're writing any CCFP exam, virtual SUs, check out our virtual SU video, virtual SAMPs. Make sure that you go to the reviewcourse.com/exam essentials where you'll find all of these things I mentioned. You'll find videos of the actual exam preparation software. You want to make sure you're familiar with this software before exam day so that when you're at home, you know what the software looks like, you know where the buttons are, you know that there's a calculator available, how to highlight and flag questions. The reviewcourse.com/exam essentials is where you'll find all that stuff. Now let's talk about 5 things that you need to know if you're going to be writing your SAMPs exam at home. So Prometric offers a software called ProProctor, which you can download at your house. You can write the exam from the comfort of your own home. So what are 5 things that you need to know if this is your plan? Number 1, the software that you're going to use is called ProProctor, and Prometric tells us that it's identical to the software that you would access at a testing site. Now, make sure you take a look at our Facebook group because there are some reports that this isn't exactly true. So you'll find the details on our Facebook group at thereviewcourse.com/exam essentials. Number 2 thing to know if you're writing the exam at home is that you can download the ProProctor software in advance and run a test. They're going to make sure that you've got your antivirus or firewalls disabled so that you get the best access to the network so that you can have no problems on exam day. If there's an error that occurs, an error will pop up and then the technical support phone number will be provided at that time. And people at our Facebook group have told us that they've called the number and there was little delay to get access to our support representative. Number 3 thing to know if you're writing the SAMPs at home. You will have to do a room sweep. You'll have your webcam on at all times, and at the start of the exam, the proctor is going to ask you to show what's behind you, what's underneath your desk, what else is in the room to make sure that there's nothing from the list of prohibited items. Number 4, people who've had challenges with the ProProctor software have told us to technical support wants you to use a Windows system because that's how their app is optimized. We've heard all sorts of different reports. Some people say that their old Mac computer worked fine. Some people said that a new Mac computer didn't work okay. So make sure at the end of the day that you are using a system that meets the technical requirements that ProProctor has set out. The number 5 thing that you should know if you're writing the SAMPs at home on the ProProctor software, make sure you've got a backup computer or 2 available to you. I wish I was kidding. We've heard enough reports of people who got issues with their computers even though they tested the software. They have to use a backup computer. That one didn't work. One report was that they had to go and knock on their neighbor's door and ask for a laptop that they could use to write their CCFP exam. So make sure that you're prepared so that you can avoid this stressful situation. All of these tips can be found at thereviewcourse.com/exam essentials. So make sure you check that out. It's got everything you need to know if you're preparing for the CCFP exam.